In the heart of the lush hills and ancient rivers of Amagu, there was a small, vibrant village filled with songs, laughter, and stories. Amagu was a place of beauty, with crops that grew tall and rivers that shimmered under the sun. But amid this thriving village, there was one who walked alone, a young orphan named Uche. Uche was known to everyone in Amagu. Though he had lost his parents when he was very young, he carried a heart that was full of kindness. Uche would help the elders fetch water from the river, carry firewood from the forest, and run errands for anyone who asked, never seeking reward. Yet, no matter how hard he tried to fit in, there was a loneliness that lingered in his heart, an emptiness that no amount of kindness could fill. One evening, as the sun set over the hills, Uche sat by the riverbank, staring into the water as it flowed. He watched as the sky turned shades of red and orange, the colors reflecting in the river, painting a dreamlike picture. He often came here to sit and think, wondering about his parents and the family he never knew. His only family now was Elder Peter, a wise and gentle elder who saw the goodness in Uche and often shared stories with him. That evening, as Uche sat lost in thought, something caught his eye. Just beneath the water's surface, a small object shimmered, casting an eerie yet beautiful glow. Curious, Uche leaned forward, reaching into the cold water. His fingers closed around something smooth and warm. Pulling it out, he discovered a stone unlike any he had ever seen. It was a deep shade of green with specks of gold that seemed to swirl and dance within it. Uche held it in his palm, feeling an odd warmth radiate from it, as if it were alive. He gazed at it, mesmerized, when he suddenly heard a soft whisper. Uche. Startled, he looked around. No one was there, yet he could have sworn he heard his name. He looked back at the stone, his heartbeat quickening. Was this some kind of magic? He decided to show it to Elder Peter, hoping the old man could explain. That night, he kept the stone close, tucking it under his pillow as he lay in the small hut he called home. Sleep was slow to come as he wondered about the strange power of the stone. The next morning, he hurried to Elder Peter's hut. The elder, with his wise eyes and gentle smile, welcomed Uche, seating him by the fire. Uche pulled out the stone, showing it to him. Elder Peter examined it, his expression thoughtful. This is no ordinary stone, Uche, he said quietly. Such stones are said to come from the ancient river spirits, a gift of power and wisdom. But be careful, power can be a dangerous thing if misused. Uche nodded, though he didn't fully understand. All he knew was that the stone made him feel strong, like he could do anything. Over the next few days, Uche discovered the stone's power. With it in his hand, he could lift heavy bundles of firewood with ease, and his movements became swift and sure. He even found himself hearing whispers, guiding words that seemed to come from the stone itself. The villagers began to notice Uche's newfound strength. They praised him for his abilities, and for the first time in his life, Uche felt a sense of belonging. The children of the village followed him, eager to see his feats of strength, and the elders began to regard him with admiration. But there was one who did not share in the village's joy, Nkem, the village's strongest hunter. Known for his pride and temper, Nkem had always been the center of attention, admired for his skill and bravery. He watched Uche with narrowed eyes, suspicious of the boy's sudden abilities. One evening, as the villagers gathered around the fire to listen to Elder Peter's stories, Nkem challenged Uche. Uche, he called out, his voice loud and mocking, you seem to think yourself a strong man now. But true strength is not in lifting firewood or running errands. Let us see if you can face a true challenge. The villagers fell silent, their eyes shifting between Uche and Nkem. Uche hesitated, the stone warm in his pocket, filling him with courage. He stepped forward, meeting Nkem's gaze. What challenge would you have, Nkem? Uche asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Nkem sneered. Tomorrow, we will journey to the edge of the forest and hunt. There, we will see who is truly strong. Uche nodded, though inside, he felt a twinge of doubt. He knew the forest was dangerous, and he had never hunted before. But he could not back down now, not in front of the entire village. That night, as he lay in his hut, the stone whispered to him once more. Remember, Uche, true strength is not in proving yourself to others but in knowing yourself. The words lingered in his mind, but he brushed them aside, focusing on the challenge ahead. The next day, Uche and Kem set off toward the forest, followed by a crowd of villagers. The journey was tense, with Kem casting glances of disdain at Uche, who clutched the stone tightly in his hand. As they reached the forest, a deep silence fell, broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant cries of birds. Suddenly, a wild boar charged out of the underbrush, its tusks gleaming. Nkem leapt back, his spear raised. But Uche stepped forward, the stone burning hot in his hand. Without thinking, he moved, faster than he ever had, and the boar fell before him, subdued. The villagers erupted in cheers, but as they celebrated, Uche noticed something: the stone's glow was dimming. A wave of exhaustion hit him, and he staggered, suddenly weak. Elder Peter's warning echoed in his mind, and he felt a pang of regret. He had relied on the stone, not his own strength. That night, as the villagers praised his bravery, Uche slipped away to the river. He knelt by the water, holding the stone, feeling its warmth fading. The whisper returned, faint and soft. Power is only as strong as the heart that holds it. With a heavy heart, Uche understood. The stone had been a gift, a guide, but it was not his true strength. He had come to depend on it, forgetting the courage and kindness that had always been within him. He placed the stone in the water, watching as it sank, its glow fading into the river's depths. For a moment, he felt empty, but then a strange calm filled him. He knew now that he didn't need the stone to be strong. The following day, word reached the village that a panther had been spotted near the village fields, threatening the people. Without the stone, Uche felt fear rise within him, but he took a deep breath, recalling the spirit's words. Grabbing a spear, he raced to the fields, where the panther prowled. The villagers watched in awe as Uche confronted the beast, moving swiftly and bravely. This time, his actions were guided by his own courage, not the stone's power. He managed to drive the panther away, protecting the village with only his strength and heart. As he returned to the village, the people cheered, lifting him onto their shoulders. Elder Peter approached, his eyes filled with pride. "You have proven yourself, Uche," he said. "Not by strength alone, but by the courage that lies within you." In the days that followed, Uche found himself respected not for the stone's magic, but for the heart and bravery that had been inside him all along. The villagers spoke of him as a true hero, not because of his strength but because of his spirit. And so, Uche's story became a legend in Amagu, a tale shared by the firelight, reminding all who heard it that true power comes not from what we hold but from who we are. Through courage, humility, and the love of his village, Uche had found his place, not as an orphan, but as a hero. Uche learns that his value comes from his heart and courage, not external magic. His journey from loneliness to heroism is a testament to the power of self-belief and integrity. Thanks for watching to the end. Please subscribe, follow, comments, share and like our story. More to come from Big Jerry Tales. See you tomorrow 6 p.m. for another new story. Anticipate.